Farmer Sam's Dog Day is a new ZX Spectrum Next game, out now from Marco's Retro Bits, which casts its eye back to the heady days of the platformer, and over 24 screens. The premise is that your hayloft's trapdoor has been opened by someone, leading to hay bales bouncing around on each screen, and you have to get from A to B while staying alive, either by not being hit by the hay or by avoiding the water. Eventually you'll get to the key which will help you lock the door and put a stop to the problem. First up, I do like the way Farmer Sam is designed, with his long beagle nose and Mario style outfit. Plus it does have quite a decent rendition of the can-can music, even though that's usually synonymous with buxom women in big dresses kicking high, something which Farmer Sam is unlikely to do. My first issue does rather come in the feeling that the levels do need some jazzing up to them. Initially there's nothing in the background, making it all feel a bit flat, while the design is all quite blocky. You can't walk up a gradient like, say, the first level of Donkey Kong in the arcade version as Mario climbs a screen, since that's clearly what this game's first level is based on, except with the lack of a gorilla at the top. In fact, I was reminiscing of the old days of very early platformers from when the ZX Spectrum was launched. Later on the levels do look a bit more inviting, but I would alter the early ones. That said, Marco is looking for feedback with which to update the game. The jumping feels a bit odd, although what's available here does give you more control. Basically, as you jump across a gap, you can run towards the gap, press jump, but you have to keep your finger on the key for the direction in which you're going. So if you're jumping left, keep holding the left button down. If you don't, you'll just fall down the gap. Like I say, it does give you more control, but if you saw someone jumping like that in real life, you'd feel like you'd taken some dodgy mushrooms, since it's not natural to jump that way. At another time, I was working out the route to cross a room with platforms all across the screen, but while it was fairly easy to work out how to climb up it, it wasn't at all easy to find a safe passage down it. The main problem with this screen is that the platforms aren't staggered all around the room, so it's all too easy to misstep and then fall to your death in the water. If I had more time to plan the route, that would help, because you're up against the clock. It would also help if I wasn't under constant threat of the bales of hay landing on me at random times. A change I'd make to this is that when you fall from a platform, you should be able to steer Farmer Sam to another platform, if one is available. At least then you wouldn't lose one of your precious few lives so easily, since you only get 3 to begin with, although there are bonus lives if you happen to chance across them. Also, the enemies seem to fall from the sky in batches of 6 or 7, which is a number to keep in mind. That's because there's usually a point in some levels, well, for those where it matters, where you'll need to run past the area from where they drop. If they're all on screen, then you're basically safe. If they're not all on screen, then there's a good chance that one of them will smack you on the head and take away one of your 3 precious lives. Then again, in later levels, they can drop from several points, and when I was just starting out on screen 4, I had no escape, as one immediately crushed me before I could get my bearings. As such, I feel that the only way I'll make it through some levels will be more through luck than judgment. Still, at least now I know how Rocket Romano felt in ER when that helicopter landed on him. There's an option for in-game sound effects, but it's usually 1 squeak for jump and 2 squeaks when you get killed. All these things are elements which can be changed with an update, either for this game or any potential sequel, so they're not a deal breaker, because the one thing this game does have is that just one more go factor. Yes, I died a lot, and only getting through to the end with a little help from my friends for the purpose of this review. However, even for those without that option, you'll find that you'll keep coming back for more because, like me, you want to get further each time. So overall, this does need a bit of work, but it is a good game. Now I plan on making more reviews like this for the ZX Spectrum Next and ZX Spectrum, so if you enjoy it, please leave a comment below about that. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the little bell to get all the notifications, and cue Genesis.